Yo, what's good, everybody? It's your boy, the Anime Abu here, coming at you with part 13.5 or 13 and a half of What If Naruto is like Minato. Sorry for getting this chapter out to you so late. I didn't record today. I was pretty busy. I was actually doing things today, like busy with life stuff. Yeah, so, comment, like, and subscribe. And I respond to all comments, and I like all comments. And I just appreciate it genuinely. Also, shout out to Noah. I appreciate you wondering where I was at. It also helped me motivate myself to want to record that video last night instead of go to sleep because I recorded it pretty late. I was pretty tired. I had things to do in the morning. So, yeah, that's basically where I'm at right now. But, just genuinely, I really appreciate all the love and support. And, sorry, I'm going to leave this before my guy calls me. Because if he calls me, I'm going to be not joining because I don't feel like it right now. Because I'm recording a video also. So, yeah. But, just really appreciate that. And, I'm really looking forward to making more videos. And I'm really looking forward to this. Actually, last night I was really looking forward to... Last night, I was really looking forward to finishing this chapter out because I was actually wondering how it ends, and I wanted to know how it was going to end. So I was looking forward to recording this, but I didn't get around to it today. Like I said, I was busy. Joined FaceTime call. Told you he was going to FaceTime call me. What did I say? But yeah, so we're just going to start it off now. Appreciate it. Thanks for the support. Thanks for the love. We're about to hit 100 subscribers. Oh, that's a big thing. I'm sorry. This intro is going to be long. We're about to hit 100 subscribers. Oh, my gosh. Yo. Woo! I can't believe that. When I made my first video, I was never expecting myself to hit 100 subscribers. That's insane. That's insane. That means 100 people took the time out of their day to hit the button just because, for me, that's crazy, and I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Oh, my gosh. I was so hyped when we crossed that 50 threshold. When we hit 50, I was like, oh, snap, 50 people? And now we're about to hit 100, and it's going to be the same thing. I might start a new series for 100. I don't know yet. Let me know in the comments if you want me to. Again, this intro's long, man. 2 minutes long. Damn, I'm talking a lot. But yeah, so let me know down in the comments section if you want me to start a new series for 100. I don't know what I'm going to do for 100, but man, am I really appreciative. Thank you so much. Thank you. And without further ado, let's get right on into it. Sasuke-kun! Naruto flinched and then sighed. Kami. He hated that voice. He turned around just in time to see a blonde missile, hug Sasuke tightly from behind. It's been so long since I've seen you, Sasuke-kun. I miss your dark looks, Sakura spoke in a surprisingly normal tone, but seriousness nonetheless. Let Sasuke-kun go, pig. Glanced at Sakura, mocking her. I'm surprised they let you compete, forehead. Sakura gained a tick mark, her voice getting a bit higher. You leave my forehead out of it. Just stuck her tongue out at Sakura. Naruto just rolled his eyes at the immature display. Oh, you guys are competing in this stupid test too? Shikamaru's voice came as he approached with Choji. Naruto smirked and lightly commented, I didn't think you had the energy to take this exam, Shika. The boy sighed. It's troublesome, but Ino threatened us with our lives, so we had to take this exam. Finally found you guys. Naruto saw that it was Kiba's voice who was coming with Team 8 in tow. Hinata blushed at the sight of Naruto. Well, it looks like all the rookies are assembled. Shikamaru sighed. Jeez, you guys again. Kiba hummed. I wonder how far we'll get now that all of us are assembled. Eh, Sasuke? Sasuke smirked in return. You seem quite confident, Kiba. Kiba boasted. We trained a lot. We won't be losing to you. You guys should be quieter, Came a new voice from behind. They all turned to see a bespectacled teenager with gray hair and a ponytail. He looked almost 17 and was wearing a Konoha Hitaite. You guys are rookies just out of the academy, right? You shouldn't be fooling around like this, he said. Ino took offense to that. And who the hell are you to tell us that? I'm Yakushi Kabuto. And just take a look around you, he gently said, not seeming to mind your tone at all. All the rookies except for Naruto and Sasuke tensed up after looking around. They were the focal point of all the attention, and it wasn't the good kind. The team behind you is Amegakure no Sato. They have short tempers, he explained. Naruto decided that he had enough of people trying to intimidate him and his team, so he turned the tables. He didn't exude any killing intent, but simply glared with his eyes. He was very much satisfied to see many of them flinch. Why shouldn't they? He had his father's eyes, and his father sent his enemies running in the opposite direction with just a look. His Genin stood no chance. Kabuto-san, was it? Sakura's voice caused him to turn around. Yes? Is this your second time taking these exams? No, actually it's my 7th. Kabuto admitted, sheepishly rubbing the back of his head. Wow, you must really suck then. Kiba's brashness surprised no one. Kabuto shrugged and conceded the point. Or maybe the exams are just that hard. To help out, I thought I'd share some info on the participants with my fellow Konoha. He withdrew a thick deck of cards from his weapon pouch. Who do you want to know about? Give me information on Sabaku no Gara, Rock Lee, and Uzumaki Naruto, Sasuke commanded, desperate for some information on his teammate and the others. The rookies gave him weird looks, but Naruto glared at Sasuke, who glared back. Finally, I get to see how powerful you really are, Naruto. Kabuto smirked. You already know their names, which makes it less fun. Looking at his card, he began to read. Sabaku no Gara, his team completed 8 C ranks, and wow, a B rank. It says he's come back from each mission without a scratch. Again, doing a B rank is highly unusual, but coming back from one without an injury is just unheard of. This caused all of them to tense up, even Naruto. Next is Rock Lee, Konoha Genin with a tremendous skill in taijutsu. His skills in ninjutsu and genjutsu are nil. He's a member of Team 9 led by Maito Gai as his sensei. His teammates are Hyuga Neji and Higurashi Tenzan. He's completed 42 D ranks and 37 C ranks. He's been a Genin for a year more than you guys. And then next is Uzumaki Naruto, he said, pulling another card, though he blinked in surprise when it suddenly disappeared in his hands. Looking up, he saw Naruto holding the card between 2 fingers. Sasuke growled and went to snatch the card from him, but Naruto playfully put it out of reach, though there was a dangerous glint in his eyes. Sorry, Sasuke, Kabuto-san, but I don't like my cards to be displayed until the end of the game. That's tight. He clapped the cards between his hands, and when he separated, only small pieces of the cards fell out. His eyes then narrowed as he looked at Kabuto. You really shouldn't give out information like that, Kabuto-san. It might come back to bite you one day. On the inside, he was trying to figure Kabuto out. Just who is this guy? Getting information on Lee wouldn't be so hard, but how did he acquire the mission stats of foreign nin, who is also a Jinchuriki, when they can only be accessed by the Kazekage and his council? It's obvious that he knows way too much to be a Genin. And why am I getting the feeling of snakes from this guy? I have to inform Gigi of this somehow. That type of information opens up the possibility that he's a spy. Kabuto held his hands up in surrender. I meant no harm, Naruto-kun. I just like to gather information's all. Naruto didn't look convinced, but gave it a rest. Kabuto thought, guess I won't be making his job any harder. His master would be so disappointed. Naruto's senses spiked, and he caught a movement in the corner of his eye. He saw a ninja with a headband having a musical note flying through the air, throwing 2 kunai into the floor in front of Kabuto, who jumped back just in time for another one with the same headband, but he had his head covered in bandages, to appear in front of him and take a swing at Kabuto. Kabuto dodged and smirked, but his glasses suddenly shattered and he collapsed onto his knees, throwing up. 3 nin, 2 boys, and 1 girl stood in front of Kabuto, radiant and killing intent. Pathetic! The bandaged one scoffed. Aren't you supposed to be a 4-year-old veteran? Meanwhile, Naruto was trying to figure out what happened. If nothing hit Kabuto, why did his glass shatter? And why the hell did he throw up? Was it pressurized air? Kurama scowled and spoke from within. Think, Naruto, what is the symbol on a sitayate? Naruto frowned. It's a musical note. Kurama prompted him further. Music is a form of sound, and how does sound travel? Naruto replied, through the medium of air. Oh, he smirked. He manipulated the sound waves to target the ears and throw off his balance. He shook his head. Foolish guy, he just gave away his main attack. Naruto turned to see the spiky-haired ninja talking. Write this down on your cards. 3 Otogakure ninja definitive Maybe they're going for definitive. Definite future tuning, I guess. Definitive? No. Definitely. Definite. Why couldn't they just say for sure? For sure future tuning. Know what I mean? I don't understand. All right, whatever. An explosion of smoke went down in front of the class, and a voice was heard. When the smoke cleared, there was a large man wearing a black trench coat, black fingerless gloves, and a bandana was standing. His intimidating stature and harsh tone that followed ensured that his words will heed quickly. That is Morino Ibiki. If I'm not wrong, Konoha's top interrogator alongside Yamanaki Inoichi and Anko Sensei's superior. Naruto speculated. All right, you maggots, shut the hell up and sit down in your assigned seats. The first part of the exam will begin now. Any fighting will lead straight to qualification, pointing to the Otogakure ninjas. He said, you better stop doing that if you don't want to fail before the exam even starts. That's the voice I'm going with for Ibiki. Sorry, bro. I know his voice is a lot deeper and a lot more smooth, but I'm not doing that. Fuck that. He watched as everyone went to their assigned seats. Once everyone was settled, he began explaining the exam. This is an exam in which you start off with 10 points. There are 2 rules to this exam. The first rule, this is a team test. Whether you pass or not will be determined by the combined score of your teammates. Second rule, anyone caught doing any sneaky activity, namely cheating, he smiled in a sinister way that sent shivers down many people's spines, will have 2 points taken off for every offense. You have 45 minutes. Begin. Let me check if my microphone is on. That would really suck. Oh, thank God. Thank you. I did not want to have to re-record this. We do like our liquids. Namely water. Box water is really good, man. Psych! We don't drink water out of boxes. We drink it out of reusable water bottles. You feel me? I digress. Let's continue. Alright, the sound of papers turning sounded for a brief moment. A short video will play after this story. Oh, fuck, there's an ad after this. The sound of papers turning sounded for a brief moment. Naruto first inspected where his teammates were seated. To his disappointment, they were seated quite far. Turning his eyes on the test, he raised an eyebrow in disbelief. What type of questions are these? There's no Genin level for sure. Which means they want the Genin to cheat. The exam is testing our information gathering. He gave an impressive smirk, but then frowned. I may have photographic memory, but it defeats the whole purpose of the test if I write down what I know. What to do now? He scanned the room, looking for someone who was confidently filling out the test answers at high speed. He smirked when he saw one sitting in the column to his left, 2 rows above him. Got him. Now I just have to figure out how to learn his answers, or maybe I can switch our test. He pondered for over 2 minutes on what to do, watching his peers cheat. Sasuke was copying answers with a shotgun gun. Sakura was writing on her own since she knew the answers. Tenten had cleverly altered the ceiling flap to reflect someone's answers. Hinata was using her Byakugan, Shino was using his bugs, Kiba had Akamaru barking his answers to him. Shikamaru did not need to cheat as he was already smart enough, for real. Got it. First, he would have to scope out the field. He spent the next 5 minutes watching the Invigilator walk, trying to find a pattern. Finally, he found a loophole. There were 4 columns of students, with a column separated. The first Invigilator between the center of the third and the second columns, but he moved opposite to the other 2 Invigilators. So there was a point where all 3 of them were in a row, and then they were in the opposite direction of each other. There was a 3-second interval during which none of them were facing him. After that interval, the 3 of them would face the class from their respective ends. Bro, that doesn't matter, bro. Basically, they're all together, but in different directions. Like in 3 different directions, but obviously he can cheat in the other one. Alright, which means he had 3 seconds to make his plan work. Second, know the number of the desks from which he was going to cheat. The test paper didn't have a space to write their names, but a space where they had to write their desk number. So we deducted that teams will be identified from the number of desks they were sitting on. Every team had been given specific seats according to the seating plan next to the board. So when Ibiki comes across the papers from the desk numbers 8, 21, and 27... he would know he was looking at the papers of Team 7 according to the seating plan. Now that he knew what he needed to know, it was time to act. Counting from now, he discreetly pulled out 2 smoke bombs during the first interval, under the pretense of scratching his back. Maybe it was overkill, but he needed to remain unseen. He waited till the guy was finished writing. 5th interval was then shit hit the fan. As soon as the back of the Invigilator was turned to him, he wasted no time and threw the smoke bombs onto the floor, 1 on the right and 1 on the left. Roars of anger and panic could be heard throughout the classroom as no one could see their tests. Windows were open to let the smoke out, and once it cleared, several of them looked confused as if nothing had happened to their test. Naruto, however, was calmly pretending to keep writing on the sheet, on which answers were already filled out. The guy whose sheet he stole had a panicked look on his face when he saw the sheet in front of him, had all the wrong answers written down. There was even a mocking note that said, "Better luck next time." The worst thing was that the sheet in front of him had his desk number written on it. There wasn't enough time to erase and correct the answers all over again. Yeah, Naruto was not above such petty things from time to time. Naruto calmly erased the desk numbers on the sheet that he stole and wrote his own down. What had happened was when the smoke spread, Naruto had quickly created a shadow clone that had instantly transformed into a finger-sized version of himself. The clone had taken a fold of the sheet and substituted with the sheet of the guy Naruto had decided to cheat from. But the time the smoke cleared, Naruto had already finished his job. Ibiki was slightly irritated at the ruckus caused. He held his hands up for silence. "Anyone who has lost their sheet might as well get out with your team." Surprisingly, none of them moved to get up. Ibiki deduced that whoever had done that was only looking out for himself. Though I'm interested in learning just who exactly did that, he thought as his eyes swept down around the room. Oh, his eyes looked at Naruto, who was simply leaning back in his chair, his eyes up at the ceiling, and an uncaring look on his face. His eyes narrowed the tiniest bit in suspicion. Naruto was well known for successful pranks all around the village. Uzumaki Naruto, he doesn't look bothered in the least. He could be the one. His face etched back into his neutral expression. Then again, he hasn't looked the least bit bothered since the beginning of the test. Just like that, he lifted his suspicion off Naruto, continuing to watch the class closely. Uzumaki pranking code of conduct rule 2. In the aftermath of a prank, throw suspicion off yourself in any way possible. For real, bruh. That's not just Naruto. That's like everybody. If you prank somebody, you can't. Wait. Oh my gosh, man. At the end of the 45 minutes, Ibiki looked at the clock on the wall and nodded to himself. He turned his head to open the door, through which Kankuro had gone through the bathroom, had gone to the bathroom. What the fuck? He turned his head to open the door, through which Kankuro, who had gone through the bathroom, entered. Okay. Was your doll playing as any beneficial? The puppy user flinched, surprised he had been caught. Go sit down, he ordered Kankuro. After he was seated, Ibiki started emitting a sadistic aura. Time's up! You now have a choice presented to you, to either take the 10th question or not take it. He stated. Choose? A familiar voice shouted back. Naruto turned to see Tamari, whose eyes displayed confused anger. What happens if we choose not to? At that point, Naruto simply stopped caring about what Ibiki said. He just started watching Tamari, a small, dreamy smile on his face. Tamari caught his gaze and blushed, averted her face, trying to quell the growing blush. Why is he staring at me like that? Ibiki chuckled darkly. If you choose not to, your points will be reduced to 0. You'll fail along with your teammates. I'm just fucking yelling at this point, man. Yeah. Everyone started to shout in protest, but a sudden bout of killing intent from Ibiki silenced them. Also, if you choose to take in and answer incorrectly, you will lose the right to ever enter in the future Chunin exams. Kiba hollered in anger. What kind of rule is that? Getting from before, we're still able to retake the Chunin exam, so why is this exam any different? Ibiki released another dark chuckle. Ha 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 ha. The one gave out when he was being extremely sadistic. The other Genin didn't have me as the proctor. My test, my rules. I'll choose I haven't gotten all day. Naruto observed that Ibiki had all the Genin quivering now. He waited until several teams had quit to make his move. Lesser the competition, the better their chances, after all. Giving a wink to Tamari, whose blush darkened to cover her entire face, he turned around and stood up, all the playfulness from earlier when he was flirting with Tamari vanishing from his face. Ibiki stared at the blonde along with all the others, whose face was set in dead seriousness. His eyelids were half drooped, but he still looked entirely serious. Wait. Okay, there we go. I don't care what happens at all. I have a dream of becoming Hokage that no one can stop me from achieving. I'll do it even if I have to stay a Genin to do so. Do your worst. But know this. He pointed a finger at Ibiki without any fear. Rank means nothing to me. At all. Everyone watched Naruto with disbelief, who never once broke eye contact with Ibiki. Ibiki himself was thrown off by the sheer conviction displayed in his voice and the eyes of a 12-year-old. Sakura was in awe of Naruto's declaration. Sasuke gave a sigh of relief, for he thought Naruto was going to quit. Each of the rookies, except for one of the two, held a newfound respect for Naruto. The room was silent, and everyone that remained had caught every word, and the results were staggering. Ibiki smirked. He's interesting. He wiped out everyone's uncertainty. Looking around the room, he counted how many were remaining. Fuck, he's trying to FaceTime me again. 57, huh? There are more left than I expected. There's no point waiting anymore. Congratulations, you all pass, Ibiki declared, and hid to fight the smile that threatened to appear on his face at the bafflement of, as well as the disbelief of the Genin. But what about the 10th question? A Genin from Ame demanded to know. That was the 10th question. It was a question to test your will and fortitude. As a Chunin, you'll be forced to take tough decisions, and no one needs to weak-willed Chunin leading their forces to their death. By asking this question, you've shown me your determination and willingness to do the best for your villages, even with handicaps, he explained. Tamari spoke once again. So the other questions were for nothing? And once again, she blushed when Naruto turned to stare at her with a smile. No, the test was for info gathering to see how much balls you had, he answered. Looking in the direction of Naruto, he turned back and gave a graceful shrug. This marks the end of the first phase of the Chunin exams. I wish you luck for the next phase, Ibiki smiled, which was surprisingly pleasant and not at all disturbing. Before he could say anything, he caught something from the corner of his eyes and stepped back, just in time for a ball of cloth to come crashing through the window. 2 kunai flew out of the cloth and stuck to the ceiling, unfurling the cloth, revealing the familiar purple-haired woman wearing a brown trench coat. On the cloth, it was written, Second Exam Proctor Mitarashi Anko. You guys, this is no time to be happy, she explained. I'm the proctor for the second test, Mitarashi Anko. The real exam starts now. Are you ready? She shouted and pumped her fist in the air. Ibiki came from behind the cloth. Grasp the atmosphere, will ya? Anko blushed at his deadpan. Naruto simply sat down and crossed his arms, fondly smiling at her. It had been a while since he saw his sensei, and to be honest, he missed her eccentrics. Uncle counted the number of Genin left and raised an eyebrow. 57? Ibiki, you let 19 teams pass? You let them off too easy, she scoffed. Ibiki shrugged. This time we have quite an interesting bunch. Anko scoffed and was about to snark back when a familiar mop of blonde hair caught her eye. She smiled proudly when she saw Naruto sitting in the room, fondly smiling at her. As soon as she made eye contact, that smile turned into a smirk, and he winked at her. Anko grinned savagely, now that she knew that her best and only student was in the exam. You may be right, Ibiki. However, I'll cut those numbers in half in the second test. That coupled with her savage grin was enough to make anyone sweat. Naruto just shook his head. His sensei was as intimidating as ever. I'll explain the details tomorrow. We will go to another place, so ask your Jonin sensei about where to go and the time. That's it all. Dismissed. Everyone stood up to leave, while Anko just smirked and walked in the direction of her former student. Naruto stood up and well, standing just 4 inches short of Anko's height. He waved his teammates away, who were looking curiously, telling them he will catch up with them. What's up, brat? I didn't know that you were going to be in this exam. Naruto shrugged, putting his hands in his pockets. Even we didn't know until only a week ago, Anko-sensei. Ibiki raised an eyebrow, coming to stand with them. Sensei? So this is the brat the Hokage-sama assigned to you? Naruto smiled, his white shine. Uzumaki Naruto, pleased to meet you. Anko-sensei talked about you occasionally, Ibiki-san. You really did frighten all the Genin to death. Ibiki smirked while Anko scoffed. If he really had, there wouldn't be 19 teams left. Ibiki jerked a thumb towards Naruto. You should thank him for that. Brat gave a speech that wiped all the fear I put into them. Uncle puffed up proudly, never minding Ibiki's failure. Of course he did. He's my student after all. He was born to be a leader. Naruto smiled but turned serious, though I do have a concern to raise. His serious tone was enough to catch their attention. What is it, Naruto? Uncle asked with a frown. Naruto said, it's about a Genin named Yakashi Kabuto. He seemed to have some sort of information card that had info. Mainly the mission stats and their strengths and weaknesses on all the Genin present. I can believe it if he only had info on the Genin of Konoha, but he also had it on Sunanin, Gaara, something that should only be known by the Kazekage and his council. He explained all his observations and conclusions to them. Ibiki and Anko paid serious attention to this, and by the end of the explanation, both were frowning heavily. This is not good, Anko commented. Ibiki nodded, a hard look on his face. If what you say is true, we might have a spy in our midst, and having information like that means he's been likely a spy for years. Who knows what kind of information he has now? Naruto frowned. Even I'm not sure. As I said, my own observations led me to this conclusion. Regardless of whether he's a spy or not, such matters have to be investigated for that sort of possibility, don't they? Anko nodded. That's true. This matter will be taken to the Hokage immediately by Ibiki. Ibiki turned to Anko, an incredulous look on his face. You can't order your superior. You know that, right? Uncle shrugged, putting an arm around Naruto's shoulders, not caring in the least that his face was right next to hers. And next to her assets. Oh, shit. Y'all know what that means, boy. Y'all know what that means, you feel me? I know, but in light that my student is in the Chunin exams, it's his duty to treat me to dango. Let's go, brat. She started walking, not letting go of Naruto, who was struggling to get out of her embrace. Ibiki smiled and shook his head, muttering, just this time, I'll let you go. Damn. Okay. All right, guys. So, oh snap! No, not another advertisement. Shit. All right, guys. So that's gonna be the end of part 13.5. Once again, thank you for all the love. Like I said earlier, I'm being so serious right now. I was not expecting this kind of love, or even just like people to watch. So I'm not lying when I say I'm super appreciative. Oh my gosh, everything that you guys have done for me, just by watching and commenting and all the conversations I've gotten to have, I'm really appreciative of that. I'm really looking forward to hitting 100 subscribers, and I want to do something special. I just don't know what yet. Yeah, I'm sorry for not posting over the last couple of days, though. Again, I was really busy, life stuff, real life stuff. Man, that's crazy. Wow, 90 subs? Wow, we hit over 90. That's crazy. Yo, super happy, man. You can't see it, but I got a massive smile on my face right now. But yeah, I think without further ado, I think that's about it. Like, comment, and subscribe. I try my best to respond to all comments. I at least heart them and like them. I get around to it. I might take a little long, but I do get around to it. But yeah, man, I'm really looking forward to hitting part 14. I'll maybe record it tonight. I don't know if I have much time. What time is it? It's pretty late, and I have school tomorrow. Yikes. All right, but yeah, I'll probably record What If Naruto Was Consumed by Darkness tonight, because those episodes are shorter, and even though this one took only 30 minutes, not even 30 minutes. Oh yeah, this was a short episode. Man, sorry about that. All right then. Well, all in all, this was gonna be an hour-long episode, though. That's crazy. Shoot. All right then. Well, shoot. Deuces, I guess. Bye bye.